He said he did it because he wanted to give something back to his profession. Giving something back is part of not forgetting who you are, where you came from. And that's an important thing to hang on to. Look how many people your parents' age, my parents' age, or even our age haven't done that. The former members of my old band, here they are again, is the perfect example. Or, how many of you have crossed paths with a parent who's turned into something like, we had a great time when we were your age, smoking weed, fucking in the park, causing trouble in the streets, but now that you're that age, just say no. But take your Ritalin. The way to avoid becoming one of those people is just not to do it. So many people cross over into that without thinking about it when they either have kids and or buy property. And all of a sudden they have to protect what's theirs from, yes, the evil ones out there. And therefore, the money shouldn't go to the community, it should go to the stock market and to retirement funds. We're spending our kids' inheritance, ha 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 ha. You don't have to turn into one of them. Another part of becoming the media, both with kids and with adults, but especially with kids, cultivate bullshit detectors. Never has the media and mass culture we're exposed to been so censored as it is now, and so used as an instrument just to control our habits and our spending. And this is another thing, if you are or will become parents, don't hide reality from your kids. I'm 44 now. Yes, believe it. It is true. An alarming number of people my age, and I noticed this when we were about 30 years old, no tangible, visible, personal memories of Vietnam or even Watergate. We were 16 by then. It was on everybody's lips. Vietnam, it was even in 5th grade. Everybody had a strong opinion on the war, even then, and now they don't remember it. Why? They love classic rock, but not classic history, even if it's their own history. Watch Brady Bunch reruns instead of remember their own lives, if you see my point. Maybe one of the reasons for this is because Eisenhower-ish parents, when the bloody footage of the troops bleeding all over the place in Vietnam came on the evening news back in the days when it was actually news, instead of Entertainment Tonight masquerading as news, and race riots were on the news, and the Biafra War in Nigeria, where I got my name, was on the news, those parents changed the channel to something nice so as not to upset the children. In my family, this stuff was discussed, and I knew at an early age, this is what racism is. This is why it's wrong. This is what war really is. It's not like playing cowboys and Indians in the yard. This is what really happens, and this is why it's wrong. The more intelligent stuff you give people discussing these things intelligently when they're little, the more they're going to grow up to be conscientious, intelligent adults. Pure and simple. And part of that is bullshit detector, too. It was easy in my family because my dad would just snort and laugh at all the commercials. And, you know, son, that woman who's jumping up and down on TV, she isn't that excited about detergent. Detergent isn't that exciting. She's just trying to sell you detergent. I thought, and I applied that cynicism and bullshit detector to school and to my family, and then it really got wild, but I have no regrets. And that's especially important now when at early and earlier age, kids are being told what brand logo they have to have on their clothes to match the ones on their shoes, or they're not cool. But if you get them cynical enough, early enough, by the time they're teenagers and start thinking something must be wrong with them and they suck as a person just because they don't look like Britney Spears, you get enough cynicism for bullshit detector-equipped kids to see through fashion fascism and the fashion police. By the time they're that age, they can say, I don't need that, I'd rather be me. I don't have to be taking steroids to look like Rambo. I don't have to wish I could get a boob job or always be on a diet because I might be a little bit bigger than a 22-inch waist or whatever. I'd rather be me. And one of the coolest things about Spirit of Seattle is that there's no big magical leader who's leading us all to the promised land. No Nelson Mandela, no Václav Havel, no Subcomandante Ski Mask riding in on a white horse to lead us all to the promised land. We're leading ourselves there. And that's a really important thing to hang on to. But one of the ways to hang on to that, it's not too egocentric to start thinking from time to time, okay, what would I do if I was in Bush's shoes right now? What would I want to say if I was debating Davis and Bill Simon? What would my priorities be? What would I do if I could trade places with Willie Brown, or trade places with the chief of police, or trade places with somebody on the school board, or be in place of the boss I hate so much at work? How would I run the place differently and make it work? Not only what do I not like, but start thinking about, okay, what do I want and how could I get it? How could we implement this stuff and actually make it work? At the very least, you're not going to come up with a magic answer every time, but it'll make you smarter and start asking questions to other people and getting those ideas, and you'll identify where your skills lie, where your talents lie, that other people may not have the same knowledge that you do, because when corporate train wreck happens, it'll happen as quick and as unexpectedly as the fall of the Berlin Wall. And if we aren't ready to know how to run the thing, sit on our ass, wait for somebody else to do it instead, we will get fooled again. So on that note, we are out of time. We will turn into pumpkins unless we leave the buildings. Don't give up. And for people who come up to me, you changed my life. Maybe. But now it's your turn.